wars with just some space invaders. Okay. About to run the game right now, we're lacing trainers. No more idols, everybody's chasing.
Yeah. Well, let's introduce our guest. Today we have Lexus. I don't know, what I don't even actually know your actual name, bro. Or are we keeping governments out of it?
No, we could put government in. Most people know anyway. So my name's Alex.
Oh, see, I've heard people call you Alex, actually.
Artist name, Lexus P.
Yeah, where did that come from? Because I've been thinking about it, I've been curious.
So that come from my nickname or pet name amongst family and friends was always Lex anyway. And then my older cousins started calling me Lexus.
So it kind of just catch.
Yeah, when I was first making music when I was younger, I called myself Lightning.
Hey, come on! You should have kept that one, boss.
You know, there's some people in Bristol that will still know me as that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I kind of grew out of that one.
Bro, you know what? You're gonna have to do like some kind of almost like paying homage to your own name. Yeah, you
like
must do, man. 100%, 100. I'd love to see that. That'd be sick, bro. But
you know the weird one about that is how that Lightning name even came about.
How did that come about?
When I was in school, primary school, I feel like year 4 to be exact, and we had this little project that we had to do in class, and I was creating a superhero.
Oh,
and I decided to create a black superhero, and his powers were electrical, and I called him Lightning. I had a suit, a black and gold suit for him.
Sick.
I had all these ideas of like what his type of powers would be, how he would use them.
Almost like a comic manga type thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But at this point here,
yeah,
I'd never heard of Static Shock. I'd never heard of Black Lightning.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of like any of those kind of black characters that already have the electrical powers.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I think I've heard of Shocker. I've heard of Black Lightning. I've heard of Static Shock. I've heard of.
Shocker was a villain though. He was in Spider-Man. But yeah, put it this way. Yeah. When I found out about them, was because Static Shock came on Cartoon Network.
Of course, big up Cartoon Network, bro. Come on, Jetix, Cartoon Network, all of that, man. Of course.
So Static Shock came on, and I was like, hey, they teased my idea. They teased the idea. And it went until like searching into the Static Shock and realizing it's not a new thing. It was a new cartoon.
Yeah.
It was an old comic book hero, innit?
100%.
And then I discovered about Black Lightning, and I was like, okay. And then when I started to like research DC Comics and Marvel, and I realized it is quite a big theme for the black characters to have electrical powers. Yeah. They ask me where it comes from.
I mean, realistically, like you think about as soon as you talk about like lightning, I think of quickness. When I think of quickness, and I think of black people, I think of Usain Bolt, innit?
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, what a name! That's his actual name as well, which is
a
bit booky.
I've always thought, you know when people get those like when you're given like a sick name at birth, it's like it's almost like you have to live up to that. You know what I mean? You can't be called Usain Bolt and being like
a mundane life,
100 kilograms, that kind of that. Exactly. Nah, man. Jeez, like actually, because you were talking about comics and all that kind of stuff. How into that kind of thing are you? Like anime, comics, that kind of. I don't know how much we chat about it.
So, in all honesty, it's not like my biggest thing.
Yeah.
But I was surface level. Like you mentioned, Jetix.
Yeah.
When it first came out, it was Fox Kids when we were really, really little.
Oh, see. Wait, how old are you again?
So I'm 28 now.
You're 28.
Just the other day I turned 28.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday, bro.
I got a baby face, so everyone thinks I'm
still
like 21.
Yeah. Bro, I'm 21 actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
everyone thinks I'm the same age as you lot.
Fair dudes, black don't crack and all that, and they just enjoyed that. Someone asked me for my ID the other day.
Yeah.
I went to go get, I think it was just like a bottle of wine. We just got our what do you call it, British citizenship, like fully sorted out. So I'm a British boy now. All of that. But I went to go buy a bottle of wine. We're celebrating. Before I even put the wine on the counter, before I even got there, man was like, can I see your ID, please?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to take it. I was like, how do you take it? Do people still ask you for ID?
Yeah, I got ID a couple
what goes through your head?
To be honest, I'm just like, well, I still must look young, innit? Because I remember leaving school and then like I hadn't seen people for say like 3 years.
Mm-mm.
And then like almost not recognizing people that I went to school with just because of
100%.
how much they'd aged.
Where did you go to school in Bristol?
Yeah, State Academy.
Oh, raw.
Mhm.
I went, what's it called? Bristol Banana Academy.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you not play basketball over there?
No, that wasn't my thing. I was alright at it, but it weren't really my thing. I played football mainly.
Okay.
Most of when I was younger.
I think there's like the main two things, anyways.
I got
Especially
forced onto the rugby team. Peer pressure onto the rugby.
what were you playing?
I
Like a
hate
winger or
rugby.
something?
Yeah, basically I was
You quick.
I was tiny until I was 14. So I was tiny until
Man.
like year 10.
Yeah.
And so because they knew I played left midfield for football, and they knew I had some pace, they just put me out on the wing, dashed me the ball, and just like, run as far as you
It's
can.
the sickest
till you
thing.
get licked down.
Yeah, bro.
I used to hate rugby, bro.
I can't, like, I was one of them kids that always did. When it was sports, whatever it was, it didn't matter. Whatever it was, it. Yeah, whatever it was, it didn't matter. Like, for me, it was like. At first, I was a little bit chubby in it, but then when I started really actually getting into sports, it was like any kind of sport it was, I was down to like give it a go. Whether it was like.
That's a joke. I can't picture you chubby.
Bro, listen, bro, I was the exact opposite of what you see now. I was
it?
short, tubby, like wore boot cuts everywhere.
That's
Like,
true.
bro, my shit didn't fit me. It was terrible. I had acne, high-fiving acne on the other side of my face, bro, and the confidence was a myth. But you know what? Life happens in that, innit?
Yeah.
Life happens.
It's the evolution.
Yeah, I mean, how do you find? Because you know what? I was talking to. Do you know? Oh, I've forgotten his name. Is his name Keith?
Which one?
He has a podcast, Keith and Kin.
Can't think of
Nah,
it.
I'll have to like send you like links and stuff. I was in a podcast
Bristol
with
guys,
him.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you know Femi though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Female.
guy went to Korea recently. I think it was Korea.
Oh,
Something
that
like
Femi, yeah.
Yeah. So I met Keith at Femi's leaving drinks type thing, yeah. And back then he was like, oh yeah, we need to get on a podcast. Did a podcast with him literally just yesterday, and it was a similar kind of thing because I think he's 27, but still we were talking about stuff as though we're in the same generation. You know what I mean? Like how you say about Jetix, all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like how you find like growing up, because personally, bro, I'm 21. I'm getting back. I'm waking up in the morning feeling like an old man. The way that I'm looking at certain things, look at like the cushions, bro. Cushions and stuff like that. Stuff
Like
that old people worry
European
about.
and,
Yeah. How do you find growing up, man? Because you're 27 now. You're almost 30, bro. Not to
I know.
drop that on you. Not to drop that on you, but deep it. Like.
I know.
What are you feeling, man?
It's weird because I don't really think about it.
Nah.
Is certain things will happen. That's a reminder of age.
Like,
I mean, like when people in my age group started having kids on a more regular.
yeah.
And when those kids started
Having
school.
kids.
No, not even that. I'm not that old, man.
Bro, you'll be surprised.
But to be honest, yeah, if anyone
Yeah.
had kids when they were still in school, maybe your kids might be looking at having kids now as well, because it's a bit mad. But I mean, I guess people that I went to school with have kids that are in school, like, and they're proper, their own people with personalities now.
That's mad.
And then what makes you look at things differently as well is people that I didn't go to school with, in terms of anyone 5 years younger than me or less, like you're kind of not on our radar because you didn't really exist as people.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless you're someone's like younger cousin or younger
Exactly,
brother
you
or
know,
something
through
like that.
contact. Yeah.
But other than like social radar, you lot didn't really exist. to
It's
us,
a myth.
yeah.
No, yeah.
And then
yeah.
now, you look so big people as well, innit? So that's what makes you feel like okay.
That's crazy still, because
So,
that's what like.
Corey's my
6 years.
indication of that. Shout out to Corey, my
How old?
cousin.
Yeah, big ups, man. I'm gonna have to. I need to get a Corey on this podcast.
No, definitely.
I'll be honest, because I've only just been doing podcasts for a little bit now, but it's this weird thing of like trying to. I want to be better at it, but then it's not always easy to know what you need to be
What to
better at,
improve
if you
on,
know what I mean.
yeah.
And then especially when you have like certain people like a Corey, for example. Like a Corey, for me, I met him when I was doing the door-to-door sales thing, innit? And I only knew Corey in there for about like a week, like probably like a month or something like that before he dipped. But then it's like, for me, Corey's one of the first people that I realized, oh shit, like even as a black man, I can still do my thing. You know what I mean? But then I mean, same way. I won't say so much I'm worried or scared about having on the podcast, but I just know like I want to be able to do it justice. You know what I mean? But nah, bro. Sorry, not to go off from your point you were saying. Yeah, just like a Corey and that. How's a Corey now?
So Corey's 22 now.
Yeah, that was it, because he was bare close to me in age. Yeah. Mad.
And yeah, he was like, I guess, the youngest cousin I had that was kind of like on my radar as still just makes it into my age group.
Yeah. And that, to be fair, he's like an old soul, isn't it? Like a very old soul. Like man's already lived 2 or 3 lives already.
I always feel like I base age groups off of 5-year gaps.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, it's kind of personal to you as well. But like people that are 5 years older than me or less, or 5 years younger than me or more, or less. Sorry. 5 years younger than me or less, or 5 years older than me or less. That like span, they're my age group because I've got similar experiences with all of them. Like the same sort of stuff was going on as we were growing up. Yeah. Whereas like on either end of the spectrum, they're completely different worlds. Like someone 5 years older than me has
completely different view of life.
In comparison to like Corey, 5 years younger than me. But
must be mad though, because now you have youngers, bro.
I know.
How? Because even now I have youngers. Like I don't go club that much anymore. But certain times when I used to, and I was seeing the same people that I knew from secondary school that I remember just entering school, and they're in clubs and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, time goes so quickly, so quickly.
That's why I tell everyone don't waste time doing things that you don't really want to do.
Boom.
Because like I feel like that's why I don't feel my age that much, because I try for the most part to spend my time doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
I feel like spending your time not as you planned is what age is. That's me personally.
That is no. Speak that back up into the mic again. Come up towards the mic and speak that, and tell them. Look at that. Tell them.
Looking direct at the viewer.
This is some knowledge right here. So you better listen.
So I'm saying this is my opinion, but a lot of what I deem to be someone's life, is how they're getting to spend their time. And a lot of people get confused. They think their life is their job title or career role, or they think their life is their relationship, or their life is whatever. But I feel like what defines your life essentially is just how you're getting to spend your time. And so if you know the things that you like, you're interested in, that bring you joy, happiness, love, all that kind of stuff, spend your time doing as much as that as possible. Obviously we all need money, because we live in a monetary system, but if you can find a way to monetize yourself within doing what you like and you love and what interests you, you're gonna have a way better life than just following something because you've been told that that's what you're supposed to follow, if you get what I mean. Like if I always said, like, as soon as it's my turn to be passing wisdom to my kids and that, like, I want them to first just explore as many things, find out what they like and what they love, and 100%. That kind of stuff, before they're even trying to figure out career or whatever. Just figure out what you like, what you love doing, what you enjoy, what you're interested in.
Simple.
And then you can like build on what you're gonna do from that. Like,
it's weird as well, because like even speaking on that point there, like I realized it's down to even in schools, bro. Like personally for me, how secondary school seemed for me was like, oh no, don't worry about it, it's cool, you got time. The last 2 years come, you need to make your decisions now. You need to know what you're doing. You're gonna go to uni. If you don't do this, then there's problems and so I get it's hard to like to like step out of that kind of
way of thinking.
Exactly, but that's what you gotta do, man. Because otherwise you have regrets, and those are the worst things. Like I chat to my Marge, chat to not only just like my family and that, but I like to just chat to random people anyways. Everyone's got a story in it, and every story there's something you can learn from it. But no matter who I chat to, the older people, so my elders and all that kind of that, all of them are telling about, oh, I regret I didn't do this, regret I didn't do that. But it all starts from young, bro. If you're not in that mindset of looking out for number one and understanding that you are important, not saying other people aren't, but if you aren't cool with yourself, you don't understand yourself, you're not comfortable with yourself, bro, you're destined to fail. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, you talked a little bit about obviously wanting to do the kind of things that you want to do. So like, I mean, obviously I know little bits of what you do, but the people at home probably don't know that much, or they might know all that kind of thing. So like, I want to get into that kind of stuff, innit? Because you're making waves. You're making waves. People might not see them on the surface of that, and even if they do see certain waves on the surface, underneath it's always more mad. Always more mad. So tell me about a little bit of that, man. How did you get into it? Because you do music, innit? That's I think that's how I knew you from to start off with. Yeah.
So that was like always my main passion, to be honest. And when I was younger, I was playing football a lot. But I always loved those two things. I started to realize as I was getting older, I probably loved football more because my mum really loved football, and that was like our bonding thing. She'd be bringing me to football. She's really interested in like following football. Outside of that as well.
Jamaj.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Hey, I mean, not to seem sexist or nothing like that, but like, typically my mom doesn't care about any sports. As far as I know, she does not care. It's got a ball involved, none of her business, isn't it? But still, that's mad. Still. Did she play?
My mom, so she did, but like recreationally. She never played for any teams, and I feel like if she was born in our era, she would have actually played. But it was less of a thing for girls in her era, innit? And so she showed a mad interest as soon as she seen I had any interest in football. But like, I started to get to about 13, 14. I was still playing at that point, but I just had
different things in your head.
Yeah, loads of different.
That must be kind of hard to deal with though, because if you know, like, when you know that your parents appreciate something that you're doing, and that's something that as you said, like, you knew. Even at a young age, you probably would have still clocked the same thing. That like that's the bond that you and your Marge had, innit? So then, even if realistically, if you told her that you want to do music or you want to do anything, she probably would have supported you in it. But I can imagine for you in that place, that must have been weird as well, bro.
That messed with my head for a bit as well. I was just like, I'm feeling like I want to stop, but it wasn't just my mom. It was loads of people around me that was just like, like just football. Because getting older now, I realize what it was basically, which wasn't said at the time, but it was implied. Now it's more of a explicit thing, but I can see that basically because they can see the success path for a footballer. They know you play football, then you get picked up by academy, and then if you get into any professional team, even if you're not like in the highest league, then financially you're calm, innit, whatever. So because they've seen that as a viable route, and it's
that's the word, they see it as a viable route.
So it's like, oh, you've got potential to do that, you should just do that. Like, but I was thinking more like, there's things that are more important to me than I think someone outside of myself would realize, i.e. like just freedom.
Big thing.
Which is like, I want to be free to kind of move on my own terms.
100%. Live life on your own time and your own terms, bro. I can't do 9-to-5 jobs. Same reason.
Because I've had jobs since, loads of little things that I've done. And then I've also had time period. Well, now is the longest time period. I haven't had an actual like job in ages, but I feel more comfortable because of it.
And that's it, man. That's it.
Or what people would deem a job anyway. Like I haven't had for ages because
it's hard, man. It's hard.
I can't give up that much control of my life to to someone else.
To anybody.
Basically. Yeah.
And as it sounds, whether it be your mom, your dad, your parents, your family. Like personally, I feel like after a certain point, you kind of just gotta live your life. You know what I mean? Like,
and don't get it twisted with football.
Yeah,
it's obviously a very well paid career.
Yeah,
and if you enjoy playing football, it's a brilliant opportunity to get a chance to do that professionally. However, there's like still an element of control. You've still got a very well paid job at the end of the day, but it's still like a job, and
that's
you
it.
don't work on your own terms for the most part. You've got a kind of
you have some kind of there's structure that you have to conform to, and even more so in sports, man. Because obviously I did like basketball a little bit, and it's like it's a similar kind of thing. Like I think when people see something in you, they think that it's the best thing to just push you on that. You know what I mean? Especially if they say you have some talent in it. It's like if they see that you have some talent in football, they're like, oh, as you said, it's a viable path. And I don't know, I think it's like parents in general, but obviously I can only really speak on like black families or like my family, what I've heard from other people. But when you said a viable path just then, bro, when I tell you I had goosebumps, because the way that like, especially like, bro, it's like the mindset's there, and I'm like, I see so many people go through it. And then so many people end up putting aside what they want to do because, especially like black men, when it comes to their parents and their moms talking to them about what they see for them, that's it. More time.
It's difficult to go against it.
100%.
But it's like if you've got that niggling feeling in you like that, no, I have to do this. Like there's something calling out to you.
100%.
It's for a reason.
Boom.
And
Boom.
the way I looked at it now is what I've had to learn in order to start doing the stuff that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, me now, if my child says that they want to do anything creative but within music or just within entertainment in general, it's not gonna, what's the word? It might not worry me as much as it may have worried my parents, because I know now all the several pathways and advice and opportunities that I need to offer to my kids in order for them to follow that. Whereas I think with my parents, they were supportive of, I think they believed in me and they want me to follow my passions kind of thing. But I guess it was, they didn't know how you do this.
Yeah.
Like, to them, music was
a thing that you did for fun.
Yeah. It's not like something that you're supposed to do, which is weird because although they've got loads of favorite artists that they listen to. They hear music within film. They hear music within TV. They hear music in games. But their mind doesn't go to like there are real people that exist that have to put these things in place. So clearly, it is an option.
Exactly.
Because there's people doing it. So that means someone has to fill these gaps.
How's your Marge taking it now? Like, how's your family taking it now? Because obviously, like, like you're obviously in the music, that kind of thing. You're obviously making waves in other areas of diversifying your movements and that. But like, especially, cause I'm guessing music was the first thing where you were like, okay, look, like I'm gonna have to do this and take my step up. So there was a conversation. Cause there's always a conversation,
definitely,
or an argument if it gets to that point. You know what I'm saying? So like, how's your family feeling about like what you're doing now?
Now is more of a support. I feel like if I could sum it up, is like, even though they're just starting to see how it can be a thing because of the stuff that I've been doing recently, and they're like, okay, it's like it's going somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But even more so because of how serious I was taking it, and they could see how dedicated I was to it. I feel like that's what eased their minds in the sense of even if they can't see it, they believed that I would find my own way, if you get what I mean.
And they obviously see, like, they surely see the difference in you. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, Lex that does his bits, does his music, does what he's doing is completely different to Lex that has to do a 9-to-5 job because their family care about money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, I still even came off topic because we didn't really talk too much about what you do. Like, just take a minute to gas yourself, bro. Just take a minute to gas yourself. List it off, because more than a double threat at the moment. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird, bro.
Yeah, it's trying to figure out like where to start with this. So first and foremost, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
I'm a rapper. I'm a songwriter. I'm a sound engineer. And again, that was kind of by necessity, not really by choice. Like I learned that side of things so that I wouldn't have to definitely rely on someone to get my tunes done.
This is the big thing.
Yeah.
When you want to do something yourself.
Mhm.
Like there's only so much waiting around on people that you can do.
Exactly.
Like even on the podcast and that, bro. Like there's certain people that I really want on podcasts, but it just doesn't make sense to meet up, or it's like a long thing trying to meet with people.
Yeah.
So like, I'm now looking at doing podcasts through like Zoom and that, which is something I'd
Okay.
never do before.
Yeah.
But gotta do what you gotta do, innit? Yeah, carry on. So what we got? We got musician, songwriter, sound engineer.
Yeah. And
Did you go study for that?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I studied in Islington, in London.
Oh, right.
I did music business for a year, and then sound engineer and music production for the second year.
Jeez. But I feel like, so you went to uni? Did you go uni then?
No, it's a music college technically. That's
Okay.
What they
Yeah.
define themselves.
Well, nonetheless, it's like, I think because I dropped out of college in my like second year. Like not that I couldn't do it. It's more like, if I'm not comfortable in a situation, why am I in that situation? You know what I mean? But I think education, like for my parents as well, dropping out of college was like, you can imagine. But then like, I do believe education is important, but I feel like people are using it wrong, if you know what I'm saying. Like at the moment, you see people going.
Is what do you mean by education? Well, I'll let you finish.
Okay, nice. I like that. Well, let me clarify then. Like when I say education, I mean like in terms of things like going to university, going to doing whether it be diplomas or this kind of stuff. What I see happen far too often is because it's very easy to get stuck in that whole loop of school, innit?
Yeah.
Once you finish primary school, you don't have a choice. You just go to secondary school. Once you finish secondary school, now you don't have a choice. You go to college. So then after college, now when you start having to make choices, what ends up happening is you somehow get through college, and now you have another choice, but it's not something you're forced to do.
Yeah.
So most people just pick whatever without really thinking about it, or not really having the time to really sit and think about yourself to understand what you want to do. People go to uni, look how many people drop out like so early in debt. You know what I mean? Or they end up completing the whole course, not enjoying any of it, just doing it because it's almost like feels like the most natural thing to do, if you know what I mean. But now I'm hearing you talking about how you kind of dealt with your kind of like education and that, and quite clearly, I just said quite early on you kind of knew what you wanted to do anyways, like the music, that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
which is something that not many people. Obviously, I'm sure you know how lucky you are to be in that position to feel comfortable in yourself that early, but most people don't know what they're doing, innit? Basically, what I'm getting at is I see what you've done with your education, and it's music. You see what I mean?
Well, it wasn't straight away.
Oh.
So, I left school and I joined sixth form.
Okay.
And
rather than going to college.
Yeah, rather than going to college, I did a year of sixth form.
Oh yeah, Cap has yeah.
And then I went to college. But I was doing science and psychology lessons in college.
Oh geez, smart guy, yeah, smart guy.
And that was because of, again, by that point, my mum wanted me to follow my passions, but she was like, I have to get some A levels as backup.
This is the thing, innit? Yeah.
Now I think looking back at it now, she wouldn't have done that, or she wouldn't have like drilled that into me. If you get what I mean, because it's like, what is backup really like? Backup for what? If it's not what you really actually want to do, then what is it a backup to?
So what, in case what I want to doesn't work, I'll just do like what other people want me to do. I know I'm not gonna be happy with it. Surely your backup should be something that you
want to do as well. So this is how I, again, when I'm having my own kids now, from experience, how I would approach that is like, where I said to you, what do you mean by education? And you clarified it to basically mean like, you mean formal education.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-formal education, which some people may think. I just feel like get educated for a specific reason, and don't just do it just because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Because as you said, how many people do we know that ended up in college and uni just doing things because they wanted the comfort of when I'm in college and uni, but it was like they weren't actually too focused on what it is they're studying specifically.
Exactly.
They just want to say they're studying something. Whereas like, yeah, so I did that, and then it was at 19 when I moved to London. I went and done the music colleges.
Did you move on your ones?
Well, with my friend.
Okay.
It was going to be on my ones at first, and then my brethren done music as well. So yeah, he moved up with me.
Kind of works out then, yeah.
But yeah. So what I ended up doing at 19, I would have done at 16 if I had like slightly more support from my parents to just do that.
Yeah.
But I knew it was making them feel a bit better just to know that I went and got A levels. And the thing is, I spent bare time where I was meant to be in science in the studio. And then like, I think the only lesson that I actually enjoyed was psychology. So the one thing I took from it was that like, if I was to ever go into something that was 9 to 5 or structural, it would be something involving psychology or like health science. But then since then I've developed some more interests that are science related as well. But at that point, that's what I thought I would use out of the A levels that I took. If you get what I mean.
It's interesting because like it's interesting you say that, because the more I talk to you, the more, I wouldn't say the more similar I feel like we are, but like I don't know, I feel like I like how your mind works in it. Like even down to the fact that you had like more of a bit of an interest in like psychology, and like I'm guessing that's more about like how people work and like why they do the kind of things they do. Like I'm down on that kind of stuff. I love it. I love all that kind of thing. This book here, Fuck It Therapy, like the whole idea is about basically letting go, that kind of thing, and understanding why people don't do that. And how to overcome these kind of points, basically. But so I completely forgot the point I was making just then. Bet.
So we were talking about formal education.
Yeah.
And I was explaining basically, I didn't just go straight into music education.
Yeah.
That 3 years of science.
Yeah, there was a point in there that really caught my attention. You talk about London, you've said it a couple times now, because obviously you went back and forth between London, obviously you're doing music, so it just makes sense. London's like the capital city and all that. But for me, I prefer Bristol to London.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you feel.
As a permanent place,
yeah,
or as somewhere to live, 100% prefer it. And I thought it was biased because of being from here.
Boom. Wait, real quick, Nick, can you just like...